Hey Virgo, in all honesty, I started this video and then my kitty came in and my nose got all itchy and just got all weird. So I wanted to start over, but there's these 3 cards that I really do want to keep out because I do think they're perfect. So forgive me for not allowing that shuffle to be on the screen. But first, before we even begin from there, all information to work with me one-on-one is below, as well as where you will find the extended reading, which will be in the first link. So this reading and then some. We get more into the transits, we get into the body, which I like to bring up here too, because I actually learned recently that before Western medicine, and I have my own opinions about that, but I also know, what's worked and what's important also to recognize. So please know that I am not against anything, but I just thought this was really cool information. That I recently learned that astrology was always known to be used in medical issues or issues with the body in the past. And that's only slowly begun to stop over the years. And I find it so fascinating. So when transits are going on, we're in different seasons and how it affects the body, especially in the place that the sign that we're in correlates to. That is the word I was looking for. And so yours is digestion. I've noticed that there's so many, it's so interesting how it's brought up in my life because I'm around people during my day job. So I've noticed that different people's digestion, even in my own personal life, have kind of suffered a little bit. So it's interesting because Mars is in your sign and Mercury is about to go into your sign in the next few days, which we'll get into that and more into the next part. But the initial cards out, and I think you'll notice that you have possibly been digesting a lot and you're wondering, like, how do I use this? When am I going to use this? Don't get ahead of yourself, and you may not have realized that it's like been coming to your mind for a while. There's something that you've been processing for a while, but even more so now you realize that it may need to be put into, you may need to work it out. What do I mean by that? You may need to like start creating from it. So if you like art, or if there's any kind of art that you've been wanting to bring into your life, even if it's technology based, it doesn't matter. That technology, whether it's the creation with like a pen to paper or a paintbrush or building something, it doesn't matter. You're gonna work it out through that. It's like some people, how they process when they clean. Don't mind me, I'm fidgety because my nose is still red and I feel a little uncomfortable. Just being honest. So working through it as I create. Here you go. Moon and Venus in Virgo. So Leo is going to bring forth whatever is brought up in Gemini season and is coming up again, and it's not coming up for no reason. It's coming up for you to explore. It could be even the possibility of you connecting deeper with this version of yourself, and it could just be you and you. You don't have to talk about your spiritual experiences with people. You don't have to talk about even how creating is a spiritual experience. You don't have to talk about it at all. This could just be for you, like you're finding this much deeper connection with not only yourself, and I love the heat, don't get me wrong, it's just like all over my face. So you may realize that the more control you have is about what you are deciding this vibe is going to be like next. Like Leo season, you can't hear it hopefully too much because there are lyrics. I have music playing in the background. It's, the sun is going to be slowly setting right now. There is a vibe to this time of the year before we get into your season. So there's something that you're meant to connect with more so. And it is said that the sign before your sign, your sun sign, is this when you're in the subconscious. So what's coming up for you now is to act, but act from a place where you've already digested. If you're still working through something, just get to the drawing board and start or continue to process, to practice, whatever that may be. And maybe it's communicating. Maybe it has something to do with the way you communicate, and that could be through memes, like, this meme game, but really it's about how this is going to not only alter your life in terms of you and how you utilize your value, how you value yourself, how you learn when you're in a space where you know mistakes can be made always, especially verbally, where the focus is on that, especially maybe your interpersonal life, your home life, your very close, intimate relationships. You know, you may find that you need to vocalize a little bit more this month with the people that are very close to you about where it is that you're at in your life, and what you're able to actually, how you're able to actually afford to spend your energy. And this will come up especially during the Leo new moon. This will also be maybe even revealed through a conversation. Again, strong Gemini and Leo energy here. And it's a strong emphasis on, you know, the 4 into the 10. Like, this not only looks like what I want, this feels like what I want. You may be exposed if you haven't been already, or you may be re-exposed to, you know, because the sun and the moon are both out, so a lot of exposing here to, in a very personal way, maybe with a friend, or maybe you're invited somewhere, you go somewhere with a partner, maybe it's to do with your own family, but you realize like this is what you want to have, this is the energy you want to continue to create, this is what's important to me. I now realize what is very important to me. And regardless if you've had a few very casual connections, you may find that you really want to go deeper. And if it's not with anyone around you, you become very vocal about that. And holy shit, you're like, wow, I'm being vocal about so much more. Male and female Virgos, this is a very balanced energy. This is not, I'm not focusing on any, or masculine and feminine, excuse me. And whatever you decide, and whatever you feel more of. Doesn't matter, because this is a very balanced situation. This is with everyone in their own way right now, especially as Venus is now in retrograde and is transiting through the Leo, which is also where the sun is. So you realize that maybe even a lot's being like cut out in the open because it's shifting your view drastically, especially the view on yourself. And you realize like, oh, I need to take a moment here. I'm not just gonna say shit off the cuff right now, because it could be used as ammo if depending on who you're around. But it also is strongly emphasizing this natural balance between the masculine and feminine that you may feel, and how you bring that into relationship in a way that you can still give, and receive, because both of them, as we know more than now than ever, take work. It's not just like, oh, you're giving to me, I'm receiving all the time. And maybe if you're in that kind of relationship, there is a change in that this month. There is brought to both people's parties' attention. You may also see that being played out around you, and it's causing you to maybe take a look at your own ways of doing things, and or in the way that it manifests in your life is that other people start talking to you about it, and you are not afraid to say like, I'm actually reevaluating this myself. Or if you want to utilize some words, like you're actually reevaluating certain things yourself in a way that you can articulate clearly, but it's not like you're giving advice this month. Shocker, right? But you're not at all giving advice this month. You are more learning to really state your own needs, and that's the healthy side, hopefully, that all this is being brought to your attention so that you can state your needs in a way that's benefiting this next phase in your life, this next part of your life where you are more of the focus, in a way that is actually helpful for the people around you, because they may not realize that they actually may need it too, and you're just maybe willing to vocalize it more so, or you're noticing it, and you actually see it all around you, and it's becoming very apparent to you. So this exposure has you maybe take a look at yourself in a way, or maybe you meet someone, or you're with someone and this Leo season brings you closer, and even the way that you guys look at each other's eyes, it's almost as if someone actually sees you this month. And you may feel it so strongly, and it could be even yourself in this connection that you're developing with the divine, the divinity within you. And because and it's also sensual, and it's very exposing and vulnerable, and it brings us somewhat of validation and completion to a part of you that has maybe been asking for it, and eventually it's brought you here to this moment. Yeah, I think we should just end on that note, to this moment of understanding yourself a little bit more, and allowing something from the heart to finally be vocal, be seen, be known, be heard. Any synonym that works best for you, Virgo. I am looking forward to your evolution, especially in your season that is coming up. Yes, I want to flash my nails, you know it. We'll see you next month. Happy early birthday. Next video is below.